Hi there everyone, my name's Star and welcome to my first YouTube video. So after having my daughter at 21, I had been out of the game for a few years from studying sport in college. So I was definitely a little bit lost, didn't really know where to start, and I felt like I was scrabbling around for information quite a lot on different forms and techniques and how to execute exercises properly. So my aim here is to help eliminate some of that for people.
I feel like I've got quite a lot of knowledge now behind me and I'd love to be able to share it with you guys. So I'm going to head to the gym today and I'm going to do a tutorial on lunges and the form, ways you can hold weight, how you can make them harder.
Yeah, so we'll see how we get on, but I will see you at the gym. So I'm quite fortunate, the gym's only a 10-minute walk away for me, so come rain or shine, I will do my best to get there. Now when I do, first things first, record it on the watch, get warmed up. Super important, don't just go and start throwing the weights around. So I do the same staple warm-ups, I do butt kicks, I do heel taps, that goes straight into jumping jacks, and then finish off with high knees. Now I do either 20 or 30 reps each of these depending on how I'm feeling, and I always repeat it twice. So from my warm-up, I'll go straight into the dynamic stretches. This will vary massively depending on whether I'm doing upper or lower that day. So these are going to be lower body focused warm-ups. These ones are just opening up the hip flexors, warming up the quads, warming up the hamstrings. My hamstrings were really tight on this day from a workout I'd done previously that week, so I wanted to make sure that I was nice and warmed up, ready to go. Moving on to a squat sit now. These are underrated, seriously. If you struggle with hip mobility, tight hips, inactive hip flexors, you name it, do this sit. It's incredible. So you want to just sit as deeply as you can into your stretch. If it's a little bit uncomfortable to do it in that position, you can bring your feet forward like I just have, just like a slight angle. This will just help you go deeper into the squat without losing balance. It's a great mobility move, and then this one's just an additional little sort of like front knee taps again, just to get all of the glutes and hips warmed up. And as you can see, it works. A few minutes in and I already have to take my top off, like it doesn't last long. And then going into just some low lateral sort of lunge sits there, just moving across. This just is great for inner thighs, again just making sure that we are nice and prepared for exercise. Okay, and then moving on to some front kicks. These ones I love to do because it's great for the hamstrings, and again I was super tight this day, so the purpose of it is to just try and get that leg as straight at the top. The kicking motion again, it's just all part of the dynamic stretch, it's just getting everything nice and toasty, ready to go. This one is another one for opening up the legs. Super good for if you want to do squats that day. I find this one's really good. And then a lunge sit with a reach or with a twist. So again, this is just a preparation move, and I like to do this one if I'm going to guarantee do lunges anyway, because my body is just getting ready for what I'm about to do that day with it. Lunge form, here we go. So feet shoulder width apart. When you step back into your lunge, you're going to ensure that you keep this parallel line so your feet are staying with the same line they've started with. The only time you'll splay out to the sides in a curtsy lunge, so basically like a curtsy, you're going to bring your foot out from the midline section. This is great for building glute medius, which is the outer booty. Going back to a normal lunge but from a side view, you can see that when I'm stepping back into that reverse lunge, my legs are in a 90-degree angle, which is quite important. You want to keep that. You don't want the supporting leg to go back too far. And this is going to ensure that you're going to have some really good glute and leg engagement. This exercise is called a split squat because there's no actual lunging going on. So not trying to overcomplicate here now, but as you can see in the split squat, I'm leaning forward here, which you might find that your body naturally does if you are holding weight. So I didn't want to overcomplicate, but I did just want to say if you do lean forward, you're slightly more glute focused. If you sit back, you're more quad. Though this one is a lunge into a kickback. It's really good. Squeeze the glute at the top. You're not having to kick back too high there. It's really difficult for the working leg at the front. And here we have a lunge into a knee up. Good for plyometrics. You don't have to do the jumping, but if you are lunging back and then bringing your knee up, it's just making the legs work slightly harder. My favourite here, close stance lunges. So you're going to bring the stance of your feet closer together. and you're going to drive the knee towards the heel of the working foot, so the working leg in the front. I find this is amazing for quads. This one here is called a B stance lunge or a B stance squat. So what you're going to do is you're going to bring your leg back and out to the side slightly on tippy toes. So the front leg is going to be doing more work there because there's less support, and it's great for working inner thighs. Another great one here for the inner thighs, lateral lunges. So as you decline down into your lunge, you're going to ensure that you're driving the knees out towards the toes, so the knees aren't going to fall inwards at all. And then you can modify with some plyometrics and just do a little pop jump, which will help make it difficult without incorporating any weight yet. Okay, so introducing weight now. I prefer the barbell because it keeps my back aligned, it keeps my shoulders up, I don't have a lean forward because the weight is on the back. The alternative, you can have a dumbbell just to the side, which extends back with the reversing leg. Dumbbell up front, again this one's good for keeping yourself aligned and upright if you want to focus more quads. And then if you don't want to load up on one whole weight, you could split it down, have 2 dumbbells, one either side of you. This one's my least favourite, so it's actually on your shoulders, but it is causing some strain on the wrists and the arms there, which I dislike. Now here, when you're doing the close stance, I like to hold a dumbbell in front of me because it keeps my body upright. And with the B stance, just pretty logical, having the weight there with the available space. Moving on now to elevated lunges or split squats. So this is where you are bringing the working leg up higher. This is working more flexion in the knee and the hip, so it's making the quad work harder. So I'd advise not bashing the floor with your knee, but making contact would be ideal because that means you are achieving that full range of motion. And then if you want to incorporate some weight, again, you can use dumbbells or barbells like I showed before, but I'm just going to show this one's my favourite because it keeps my body nice and upright and my back aligned. Now, I can teach you whatever you want about fitness. Don't ask me to extend one of these though. I can't do it for love nor money. As you can see, my struggles and my pain, and I had to speed up the video. Yeah, it was like that. So, feet placement tip for Bulgarian split squats. Girl, I don't want to see you doing any of this malarkey. No, we don't need you to. Sit yourself down, legs outstretched in front of you. Now, the working leg, you want to focus on where the heel is. You want to leave it there, jump yourself up, pop the foot back onto the box where the top of your foot is flat, and make sure you are comfortable before you start. So these are Bulgarian split squats, and they are fantastic for building up strength in your legs and your booty. So as previously mentioned in this video, the emphasis on your lean is key in this exercise. If you sit back and upright, you are going to get a real good work on the quad. But if you lean forward, so a slight lean forward, you're not going to be going just sort of straight up. You're going up and out with this sort of like diagonal shape. And this one is going to be more emphasis on the glutes. So again, you can add weight here just to the front, either a dumbbell or a barbell. So, saving the best for last probably wasn't the better option, so I was getting tired here. But this is your deficit Bulgarian split squat, so it's going to have elevation at the front as well as the back. The quads are at full range of motion here. You can't physically go any deeper into your lunge, and it is the hardest form of lunge I find, and it's fantastic. Add weight if you like, but I wouldn't advise it, unless you want to RIP to your legs. So just going to cool down and stretch out. I mean, it's just a couple of minutes going to take you through just some of the cool down stretches that I do, and just to make it clear that they're obviously a lot different than dynamic stretches. Your cool down static stretches, you're very still. We want your heart rate to be, pretty much at resting as much as possible, and this is going to ensure that you're not going to have any delayed onset of muscle soreness the day after. And this is just by ensuring that the body is nice and rested, just as you were before you started your workout, before you leave the gym floor. I would fully advise this if you're not already doing it. So these ones are just cooling down all the hip flexors, the legs, the quads, everything that I've warmed up to start with. We're just going to cool everything right back down. Now I did do a couple of like arm sort of stretches as well, because I was holding some dumbbells, so I just wanted to make sure that my arms were nice and stretched out as well. Haven't really shown it in here. So anyway guys, I do want to just say thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far through the video, this is my first one, so it's super rusty, and this is the first time I've ever edited a video before, so I'm kind of winging it a little bit, just going with the flow. But hopefully I will be able to put some more content together, some more videos together, and I can share some more stuff with you guys, maybe go a little bit deeper into the dynamics and the science behind actual different exercises. But form and carrying out exercise safely is really important for me. It took me such a long time to learn the right way to do certain things with just misinformation that I found online. So I look forward to be able to share more with you. So keep posted if you want more tips and advice with fitness. Thanks guys. Don't forget to hit subscribe and like if you guys enjoyed, and keep posted for more. Thank you. Love you.